You're listening to Press Play with Coach K. I'm your host, Kimberly Monroe. My mission is to inspire professional women to take the leap towards health, wealth, and happiness. I'll share practical tips and inspiring stories to help you be the boss of your business, your body, and your bank account. For more tips and to sign up for our newsletter, visit us at pressplaywithcoachk.com. Are you ready to press play? Okay, let's get started. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for this episode of Press Play with Coach K. I am your host, Kimberly Monroe, and y'all know how excited I get. I am very excited. I almost feel like my life has come full circle having my guest on today. I would like to introduce to everyone Katiana Pierre-Diaz. She is an Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and owner of the Wellness Palette. And it's hard for me to believe that we've known each other for like 20 plus years. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you, and yourself.
I am fantastic. And it's amazing to me. Today is probably the first day I've heard your voice easily in like 18 years. Well, no, not that long, because you reminded me that we've seen each other a handful of years ago in the public health world at a training, doing the things that we both are very passionate about, which is not just health in general, but specifically women's health. So what I want to do to kick off our conversation is Integrative Nutrition Health Coach. That's a lot of words and probably maybe a little confusing. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about what that title means and what it is that you do?
Oh, thank you for allowing me to explain, because there's usually a lot of confusion around what exactly Integrative Nutrition Health Coach does. I think that the first thing to point out is that I am neither a dietitian nor am I a nutritionist. What we do, and the reason why the word nutrition is in there, is that we do provide guidance for people who are trying to reach their wellness goals, specifically losing weight, for example, or even gaining weight in some cases. But it's not just confined to dietetic nutritionist theories. We often assist nutritionists and dietitians. For example, let's say a dietitian gives you plan to work on, let's say, diabetes, okay? Then you might need to have the help of somebody that's going to help you implement and stay on track with those plans. That's where I would come in. So I assist those other healthcare providers. Primary physicians refer often to us because they don't have the time to really sit with a client and really help them implement. The reason why we even have the word nutrition in there is because, for example, we talk about primary and secondary nutrition. So when I say primary, nutrition, what comes to mind?
I would say the food that you eat every day. Just your regular everyday diet.
And secondary, you see, and that's the thing. In our book, primary foods are the foods that feed your soul, your relationships, your spirituality, your career, your finances, your creativity. So we address those as well, because if you ask anybody how to lose weight, if you have a room full of like 10 people and you ask them, how do you lose weight? 9 out of the 10 people will be able to tell you, you manage your stress, you exercise regularly, you eat a balanced diet, and you stay hydrated. But the problem is that it's difficult to implement it because there are things that are out of balance in our life that prevent us from being able to implement very simple steps to get us to goals. And so that's where we come in. We actually have a very holistic approach, therefore the integrative word, where we include nutritional information, but also look at the much broader picture, the other slices of your life, to be able to help you get to goals.
Wow.
That's what it is.
And, it's interesting because a lot of times, you have a goal in mind, whatever your health goals are, whether it's weight loss or if you're diabetic, for the example that you use, you're trying to manage your sugars, get your A1Cs down, that kind of thing. We forget that, our existence is not in a bubble. So we often have all of these other things going on that are contributors to our health status that need to be addressed. And just having someone, I love the word coach, having someone to not just cheer you on, but to lead you and guide you and help you navigate the process is so important. And I also like the idea that you are part of a larger healthcare team. So the individuals that you work with likely have some of the other practitioners that you mentioned, like a primary care physician or a dietitian or a nutritionist. And so you are an additional member of their healthcare team.
Absolutely. And there are clients who do come straight to me, but I tend to work in a setting in which it's usually a team. For example, one of the first things that I did when we started the Wellness Palette was doing worksite wellness programs. And again, it was a team of healthcare providers providing the services for the program.
I think that's a fantastic approach. So let's go back a little bit. You mentioned starting the Wellness Palette, which is your business. And how long have you been in that particular side of your wellness work?
I started the Wellness Palette in 2015. So we're still fairly young, but I'm constantly, building on it. Yeah.
Okay. And kind of give us an idea of what got you here. I know you've been in public health for quite some time. That's how you and I met a long time ago. We worked together doing HIV/AIDS education and testing and prevention. So from there to your work now with wellness and coaching and women's health, what was your journey like?
Well, as you said, my entire career has been health and wellness related. As you know, I graduated from the University of Florida. Go Gators! With a degree, I know, right? With a degree in health science education, and I followed the community health track. That platform, I was able to empower women in underserved communities with health education, prevention messages to help them lower their risk, as you mentioned, for sexually transmittable disease and infections, and also other chronic illnesses. At one point, I was director of a family wellness program that provided mammograms and other women health screenings to low-income women who are also uninsured. But came all along, I also wanted to work one-on-one with women and help them address their other wellness goals, for example, like weight loss. And it is because of that desire that I eventually went back to school and got my Integrative Nutrition Health Coaching. And I have to say that most of it was probably fueled by my own battle, my constant battle with the scale, and also with my emotional eating, which is something that has fueled me. When I went back to school, not only did it equip me with the tools from my personal wellness journey, but it also equipped me to work with clients and provide them the holistic approach that we talked about earlier to reaching their goals. So obtaining that certification as an integrative health coach provided me with an additional set of valuable tools, if you can say, to introduce my clients to the art of personal transformation. So that's how the practice got started. And it provides holistic nutrition, the health coaching, the prevention. I work with my clients to help them make lifestyle changes and choose health promoting ways that's going to produce real and lasting results, because we know that there are lots of diets and it's very difficult sometimes for people to navigate and find something that works with them. So with the Wellness Palette, they learn to develop a deeper understanding of food and lifestyle choices that's going to actually work best for them, that's going to improve their energy, their balance, their health and happiness, and so on.
I want to unpack a couple of things that you said. So one of the repeat themes that I've seen with all of my guests is the very personal place that the work often comes from, because we all have our own struggles with, whether it's myself. A lot of people heard my first episode where I talked about going from pretty much a completely sedentary lifestyle to making the crazy decision to run a marathon. And so, whatever it is that we're doing to sort of jumpstart or press play, if you will, with whatever our goals are, a lot of times some of our best ideas are born out of our own personal struggles, and then the desire to take our pain or our growing points and help change someone else's life. So I think that it's a common theme that I continue to hear. How would you say, drawing from your personal experiences and the things that you struggle with, how does that help you when you have to assist your clients?
Well, I mean, I think that it allows me to show them that we are all on that journey. At first I struggled with even starting my wellness practice because I was like, oh my goodness, people are not going to take me seriously. I don't look, quote unquote, like the, wellness coach, that people will want to work with. And I found that it was actually quite the opposite. It was really refreshing and frankly very much of a relief to have women be able to say, oh my God, I'm so glad that I'm talking to somebody who gets it, somebody who is on this journey with me, because I'm very candid with them. When they come in, I tell them, look, I am on this journey with you. I am also in need of a health coach, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
I understand that the work needs to be done and it's an ongoing thing and it's a struggle and there will be relapses and it's going to be hard, but it is possible, it is feasible, it is sustainable if you are equipped with the right tool. And this is what we are going to do together. If I can give you an example, my weight fluctuates, goes up and down, depending on the circumstances in my life, which is something that's very common with people who are dealing with emotional eating. And so there was a particular client, we do goals, like 1 month, 2, 3 months, and 6 months. And she'd lost like 10 pounds, so she came, she was really excited. She was like, Kat, I lost like 10 pounds. Just that quickly, I was like, and I found them because I had just 10 pounds, and we had a good laugh. And then, the session began and it just keeps it real, so
Right.
I find that it makes it, if you're candid and you're not trying to pretend to be somewhere that you're not yet, and that you are right there with your clients in the trenches, I think it makes for a very good working relationship.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. People don't really want someone who's perfect and who has it all together, but certainly someone who has the knowledge and the expertise to walk them through the process, but who's also willing to peel back some of their layers and be transparent and share,
Absolutely.
whatever portion of their life they feel will be helpful to help their client reach their goals. The second thing that you mentioned that I wanted to discuss was really encouraging people to make lifestyle changes. It's so interesting. We live in a society that we really want what we want now, and we want quick fixes and instant gratification, or we're looking towards a particular event or occurrence to make a change. I'm going to be in a wedding or I'm going on vacation. But I like how you talked about helping people to establish a lifestyle and to make lasting changes that are conducive with their life and their everyday walk, to make it easier for them to start a habit and to keep that habit. So I think it's a really, really great point to make. Yeah. So let me ask you this, as far as your business, and I know that you also have other work that you still do in the public health world. How do you do it? I asked this question of all of my guests. So many of us are trying to balance our families and our careers and, running businesses and all the things that we do. If you could even give one piece of advice about sort of how you manage everything, what would you have to offer?
I would say it's a work in progress, one that I'm constantly fine-tuning. And I think that that's the case for pretty much everybody who's starting and maintaining a small business, especially if you have other things. I work full-time, and at this time I'm also in school, and it's a very busy time. The good thing is my daughter is 21 and fairly independent, so that helps a lot too. I'm not sure I'd be able to maintain this routine when she was little and needed all my attention. But having the support of my family and loved ones has been tremendous. I feel really blessed to have that. I can't even count the number of events my daughter assisted me with, anything from setting up at a health fair or helping me with a technical aspect of my presentation. I mean, even my tech-savvy brother, for example, has helped me with my website, my logo. My mom was actually one of my first clients. So being able to enlist help of loved ones and collaborate with close friends is amazing. But also time management is a must. It is so important to prioritize. Learning to say no and not feel bad about it, I mean, that is a huge one, because as a small business owner, it's very easy to overextend yourself. So that's so crucial to be able, because you feel like you're going to miss out if you say no. You feel like you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, that you're going to bruise a relationship or, sever, a tie. And that's not true. You have to be able to see, what you're capable of and being able to sacrifice short term. Like I said, right now I'm in school to be able to gain long-term benefits. And, so it's a juggling that never ceases.
You created the perfect segue because I'm curious as to what is next for you. So I know you've been rooted and grounded in, the public health fight for so many years, especially serving underserved communities and providing very valuable services to help people to maintain their health, create healthy habits, avoid disease, and to manage disease. And now you have this other side of your life that you're running your own business. And now you've mentioned school. So what are we doing?
Yes. Actually, I'm pursuing my massage therapy license.
Yeah.
I know from having benefited from massage myself, not only under, oh my God, I needed this, it's so relaxing, to helping me manage my stress, which is imperative for my emotional eating. I just had to go back and learn how to be able to provide that for my clients. A lot of people know that massage is a relaxing thing, and they think about it in terms of self-care. Sometimes they think of it as a luxury. I'll have time for massage when X, Y, Z. But It's important for people to understand that massage supports virtually all our systems. And I'm talking about muscular, cardiovascular, nervous system, lymphatic, respiratory, digestive, even reproductive. Not to mention, it really impacts, the physical, the emotional, mental, and spiritual patterns of our life. So I want to be able to provide that for my clients because I know that it's imperative to their journeys. As I was saying earlier, I'm taking a year commitment to learn that craft and be able to add that to the list of services that the Wellness Ballot can provide.
That is fantastic. I was in Austin a few weeks ago for a half marathon, and I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm officially a woman in my 40s, 42 years old, and really thinking to myself that even as someone who considers myself an athlete, I run regularly, I work out, I cross-train regularly, and I have not made it a priority to make massage a regular part of my wellness routine, and just kicking myself because I know the benefits of it in terms of, recovery and all of
even
the benefits.
Preparation.
Right. And it's something that I said, man, with all that why don't you at least once a month? And I really like a good support massage or a good deep tissue massage because, I have some problem areas, nursing an old hip injury, and I've got some, hamstring issues on one side. And it's just kind of like, I like how you talked about, we look at those things like they're a luxury, but forget that they are actually vital to our health. And
they're
I think
part
so
of our
often, they should be. And I had a guest, my last guest, we talked about self-care, and it's not bubble baths and candles and aromatherapy, which it can be those things, but it's also just remembering that we're more useful to other people when we really take care of ourselves, whether it's mind, body, spirit, all of it. I'm excited to see you be able to add that to your menu of services and to better serve your clients.
Stay tuned.
So tell me, what do you love most about your business?
So working with the clients, what I like most about my business, working with my clients, helping them reach their wellness goals, learning right along with them for my own journey. I mean, there's no better feeling than that of knowing that you're facilitating healing in someone's life. But I also like that it allows me to collaborate with like-minded individuals who are in the business of empowering women, people who are working towards making healthier community. For example, one of my friends is a positivity coach with a fantastic blog, and we get to work together on a few projects. So it's really awesome to be able to have that sisterhood, in the pursuit of making this a healthier place.
I think being able to connect with other people, specifically other women, because I created this platform for women, is amazing. That, there are so many of us who are not only on a journey, but want to help people on their journey, and to be able to, put our heads together and our resources together to improve people's lives. I think it just doesn't get any better than that. So I know you're currently in school, and I'm sure that comes along with its own responsibilities, especially, I'm sure, a lot of reading. But as far as just your personal growth and development or growing your business, anything you're currently reading?
Yes, actually, I do still find the time to read for leisure, for pleasure. And the one that I'm reading right now is Spiritual Practices for Happiness. It's a really easy to read book by Jackie Wells Smith. Basically, it provides you, like daily habits that strengthen your faith and the connection you feel to God and other people. So it touches on things like creating reflection habits, expressing gratitude, using meditation for stress, the power of prayer, all that good stuff to help me stay plugged in and connected.
Awesome. That's so needed. I was having a conversation with someone just yesterday about the benefits and the drawbacks of all of the technology that we have at our fingertips. And in a world that's so connected, sometimes we can still feel disconnected. And so starting that journey of reconnection from within and letting that sort of radiate out into your relationship, I think is such an important piece of, just our existence and the connections that we forge with other people. That's a good suggestion. Now, tell me what advice you would give to someone who wanted to pursue health or wellness as a career or a business venture, because you've kind of done it all and you've got a really lengthy career. Is there any advice that you would give?
I would tell them to find an area that they're truly passionate about, because drive is fueled by love of what you do. That's what's going to infuse your business with a never-ending source of ideas and plans for the next level. That's what's going to help you find the perfect niche and the perfect client, because often we don't think about finding the perfect client. So learning is just as important too. Be ready to stay on top of new information. Don't be afraid to learn new things to serve your client, especially if it fits in the realm of services you already offer. One of my friends who has a successful cheesecake business puts it this way. He says, you take the plunge when your pocket and your heart are ready. So it's very important to also be mindful about your finances. When you're starting out and you have that little business plan, is your pocket ready? Because there's going to be a lot of overhead. You're not going to be, breaking even or even making a benefit at all, like, maybe for the first or second year. So finding a mentor, not being afraid to ask for help. All these are very, very important in diving. I think it's wonderful if you have the passion for health and wellness, but really diving into it is no different than starting any other business. You must have these things lined up.
Great advice. I think that's wonderful advice. So how can people find out more about the Wellness Palette and you? Where are you online? Either website, social media?
Social media, I do a lot of Facebook. So I have a Facebook group. It's at The Wellness Palette, and I post on a almost daily basis. But I also have my website, which is thewellnesspalette.com. And those are ways to get in touch, find out about the services, enroll, and so on.
Okay, awesome. I cannot tell you how awesome it was to speak with you. And I'm excited for your business and the growth of your business. And I like to personalize my listeners' experience. And so before we got started with the interview, we were talking about your daughter and her being 21 now. And I remember when she was a baby, and just cannot believe how much time has passed, that you have a soon-to-be college graduate. That's just mind-blowing. So, it's a reminder, too, that I am getting old.
No, we're maturing, remember.
Well, Katiana, thank you so much for spending this time with me and for sharing with us everything that you have to offer. You guys can check out her website at thewellnesspalette.com. Look for her on Facebook at The Wellness Palette. And you have been listening to Press Play with Coach K. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.